All right, Wabati Walam. Walam, Walama, and Shalom or Shabbat Shalom to those who understand that language. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go into, this is our second week, and we're going to get a little bit deeper. We're going to go into partial of the gatherings of the children of Israel, how it's going to be done, and who's going to do it. You know, the Most High, remember we talked about the Most High using man, and we know he's going to use 144,000. But also, he's going to use the Gentiles, and he's going to use our people amongst the Gentiles. So we're going to talk about that. But the most interesting part in this whole breakdown, we're going to get into what is really Jacob's trouble. And most people think Jacob's trouble is about us being, beat by the police and arrested and going to prison. Nah, it's much deeper than that. Jacob's trouble deals with return of the fallen ones, the return of the fallen angels, return of the fallen demons, okay? Returning of the hunters, as the scripture calls them. All right? So let's get started. We're going to go to the book of Jubilees, chapter 10 and verse 4. And what this talks about after flood. I'm going to show how Noah pleaded to the Most High for these fallen angels or these demons, however you want to call them, right? And I know deep fallen angels not really in the scriptures. I just use that because it's general. But how these demons, okay, or these angels that are going to deceive men, okay, how they're going to be used to deceive men, and how Noah pleads for them to be destroyed. They call the watchers in here, okay? And you're going to see how Masema is going to plead on the behalf of these fallen ones, and the Most High is going to listen to Masema, who is actually a fallen himself. Again, I'm just using that word because a lot of our people are used to hearing that terminology, okay? So that's what we're going to start off with. Go ahead, read.
Jubilees 10, verse 4. But bless me and my sons, so that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. You know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day.
So this is Noah pleading to the Most High. He's talking to the Most High, right? Read.
And for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation.
So now, even Noah's like, listen, these spirits are still living. Now remember, everything before the flood, a lot of those spirits walked the earth. Okay? And so, because they were made a little bit different than the sons of Adam. They came out of the earth a little bit different. So we're going to get into that a little bit. Go ahead, read.
And let them not bring destruction on the sons of your servants, my God. For these are like cancer and are created in order to destroy.
So I want you to remember that. They're like cancer, and they were made in order to destroy. Remember that, because that's going to come back later. All the scriptures talk about the same event. All the books we got, they're all speaking about the same event. That's it. Nothing new. Nothing. Only thing that is different is that each prophet said it in his own way, or in his own metaphoric way. But it's all talking about the same event. I'm going to prove that. Go ahead, read.
Let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous for now and forever.
So again, this is Noah pleading to the Most High to just get rid of these demons, get rid of these fallers, whatever you want to call them. Right? Go ahead, read.
And the Lord our God commanded us to bind them all of them.
So now here's an angel who's also, you're going to have 2 or 3 different conversations. Now the angel said, okay, we're going to bound them. We hear you. We hear you, Noah. We're going to bound them. But what happens? Read.
The chief of the spirits, Mastema, came and said, Lord Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice and do all that I shall say to them.
So now here we have, who jumps on the scene, Masema, right? And you understand what is Masim? He's another corrupt one. And he jumps on the scene. He said, well, hold up, master. Let me hold some of them. Right? And you're going to find out, he said, listen, let me hold some of them because you know how your people are, your humans are. They're wicked. And you're going to need to punish them. And I can use these to punish them. You can use me. Because you got to remember that all the angels, every being, have to go to the Most High. Even who they call Hashatan, the adversary, if the Most High says jump, he has to answer, how high, master? So they all takes orders from the Most High. Go ahead, read.
If some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men.
Read.
For these are for corruption and leading astray.
They're for what?
For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment.
See that? So now, the Most High is going to use these beings in the end times, right? And they're made for corruption and leading astray. Remember that. Before the judgment of the Most High. For leading astray. Corruption and leading astray. They're like cancer, as we read earlier. Go ahead.
For great is the wickedness of the sons of men.
Come on.
He said, let 1/10 of them remain before him.
So now he's pleased. He said, well, hold up. Master, let 1/10 remain. 1/10, don't bound all of them. Let 1/10 remain before me. Go ahead.
And let 9/10 of them descend into the place of condemnation.
So let the other 9/10 descend into the pit. Let 1/10 remain on here on earth, and the other 9/10 bring, let them go into the abyss. Read.
He commanded one of us to teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in the uprightness nor strive in righteousness.
So the Most High knew that the men was wicked men. You know what I mean? Eventually, they was going to fall short again, right? Go ahead.
We did according to all his words. All the malignant, evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and 1/10 part of them we left, that they might be subject to the presence of Satan on the earth.
Oh. So the Most High listened to Masima and said, well, we're just gonna bound 9/10 of them. We're gonna leave 1/10 here, or we're gonna leave 1/10 for Hashatan to use. We're gonna show that these 1/10 are gonna come back from the earth, and we're gonna show that the other 9/10 are gonna come from the earth as well, and they're gonna be used in his last days. Now, most people say, well, where is that in the scriptures? We're gonna show you. Everything is in the Tanakh and Torah, and also the scriptures. Okay? Remember, we're going to stay away from religion. And we're going to teach you heritage and culture. Because our forefathers knew about these demons. They knew that they walked the earth. They knew they were walking the earth amongst these beings. You understand? So it's today when we really don't understand this because of television and technology and everything. So we think this is like, all sci-fi. But it's real. What's coming to the earth? It's totally real. You're going to think you're in a sci-fi movie. Okay, we're going to show this and prove it. The book of Enoch, chapter 56, and we're going to start 1. And I'm going to show you these beings. Okay, now we're going to the Enoch, who is one of our first prophets. And really, this should have went in a different order, chronological order. But I'm showing this just to precept, show how all the books connected. They all talk about the same thing, right? Go ahead, read.
The book of Enoch, chapter 56, verse 1. And I saw there the host of the angels of punishment going.
Now, what I'm going to show you is that Enoch are with the high-ranking angels. And he's going to be shown these 1/10 in the prophecy. He's going to be shown these angels. And he's going to show you who they're for and what they're going to do. But then I'm going to show you in the Tanakh, I'm going to show you in the Apocrypha that it's talking about these beings. It's all there. And I'm going to show you what they're going to do. Go ahead, read.
And they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze.
Read.
And I asked the angel of peace.
So now, there's a difference. He said there's the angel of peace who's Enoch's with, but now he's talking about these other angels who ain't bringing no peace. These are the ones we just read in the book of Jubilees. Go ahead, read.
And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, to whom are these who hold the scourges going?
So hold on. So Enoch was like, he didn't even understand. He didn't even know. He said, what are these things doing? What are they going? Read. Remember, they had scourges in their hand, mean chains. And remember, we read earlier in the book of Jubilees is that these were going to punish. The Most High was going to use these to lead astray. They were like cancer, right? Satan was going to use these beings in the last days. Read.
And he said to me, each one to the ones they have chosen, and to their loved ones.
So now, here we go. It's going to get deep. The Most High is going to use these beings to bound each man and his family in the last days. Each Hebrew, these beings are going to have a special assignment to take to hell and their family, because if my family's not doing right, that means that then my wife is not. It's not, and my children are. So they're going to use them to take them all down to the abyss together. Right.
Verse 3, and he said to me, each one to the ones they have chosen, and to their loved ones, that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss in the valley.
So hold on. So now these beings are going to take a person, that man, because a man is the head of his family, and he's going to take that man and his family and take them all to hell. That's what they're going to be used for. Now most people say, well, where is that at? I'm going to show you everything. All the prophets talked about the same event. Read.
And then that valley shall be filled with ones they choose, and their loved ones.
They choose and their loved ones. So now let's recap. We got beings, followers with chains. First we read about them in Jubilees, how Nasima said, listen, Most High hold 1/10 of them, right? So that it can be used by Satan before your judgment, right? And now we're seeing that the Most High judgment is obviously being made, because now these beings are choosing people, men, which are men, their heads, and their families, and taking them to the abyss. This is what a lot of people don't teach. This is the beginning of what is Jacob's trouble. This is talking about the children of Israel. Because Enoch was concerned about that set apart seed that the Most High was his portion was his. You understand? So all the prophets always writing about their people. But Enoch wasn't an Israelite, but his concern was the Most High concern, the chosen seed. And I'm going to show you that, because we're going to precept it all together. Keep reading.
And then that valley shall be filled with ones they chose, and their loved ones, and the days of their lives shall be at an end.
See that? Read.
And the days of their leading astray shall no longer.
The day of their what?
And the days of their leading astray.
Now, didn't we read earlier that in the book of Jubilees they was called for leading astray?
That's right.
It's the same beings. It's the same beings. That's how we know what we're dealing with. Remember, we read they were for leading astray. They were like cancer, and they were for leading astray before the judgment of the Most High. Now we read that in the days of leading astray was what?
Shall no longer be remembered.
See that? All right, keep going.
Verse 5. In those days the angels shall return and gather together and throw themselves to the east on the Parthians and Medes.
So now, the Parthians and Medes, now we're going to get into some really deep stuff. Because within this, I'm going to show you the gathering of a portion of Israel. And by this time, there's a portion of Israel or Bani Israel already in Jerusalem in safety. I'm going to prove it. Now, who's going to do this gathering, right, is going to be what we call, they said, the Medes, right? But amongst them, these people is also part of Bani Israel. A portion of Bani Israel are in this gathering. They're in Afghanistan, they're in Pakistan, and they're in Iran. And I'm not going to get too much deep in that. But they're amongst these people today. And they are warriors. Trust what I tell you. When you do your research on them, they're warriors. They had never lost any war from the time they've been up there in that particular land amongst the Gentiles who they're a part of. Okay? So that's a little bit I'm going to talk to you about. I'm not going to get too much deep into that because unless we sit personally and we can talk. But other than that, I'm just going to keep it general. Alright? Read that again.
In those days the angels shall return and gather together and throw themselves to the east on the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest and disturbance will come on them. Now,
remember these are the angels that are with the Medes, okay? And when you really get into it, these are the people who already has set up for us to do our sacrifices by the Levitical priesthood in the land. Now, sacrifice mean not to kill, but sacrifice mean to burn. Okay, you have to get a difference between slaughter and burn. Okay, so these are the people they already has set up already. A portion of them already has set up for us to sacrifice in the land again as before. Okay, that's already been going on by this time. Remember I said there's a portion of us in Israel already that's set up in there. Okay, so we're going to find out who else doing this gathering. Read. And now remember, this is the angels that are with the Medes as well. Read.
And they shall drive them from their thrones.
So they're going to take them, they're going to take the Medes, these angels, they're going to rouse them up, and they're going to get them to go off their thrones, to drive them from their thrones. Read.
That they may rush out like lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks.
So what these Medes going to do, it says amongst their flock, meaning their own people. So if I live in New York City, and I'm a ruler, right? And my land has been invaded. I'm going to take, and these angels come with me. I'm going to destroy those people who are in my land, and also my people who join with these people, with the enemy. That's what's going to happen here. And then you're going to see they're going to go and they're going to drive in a straight line, and they're going to go straight to Jerusalem. Okay, these Medes, they're Afghanistan. You know what I mean? They're in Afghanistan, they're in Pakistan, right? And some of our people are amongst these people, Bani Israel. But they're gonna drive like they're gonna come on horseback. They're gonna come on horses, right? And they're gonna come with that flag, and they're gonna drive straight through, all the way to Jerusalem, and nothing's gonna be able to stop them. Keep reading.
And they shall go up and trample the lands of my elect ones.
So now he said they're going to trample the lands of my elect ones. When you're going to learn what my elect one is, we know what that is, right? Come on, read.
And the land of his elect ones
Go ahead.
Shall be before them a threshing floor.
So that land of his elect ones is actually talking about Syria, the Assyrian kingdom, or what they call ancient Babylon. Because they're driving in a straight line, right? On the way to Jerusalem. Okay? And I'm going to prove that. I'm going to show you everything. Because remember, if the prophets talked about the same thing over and over, this shouldn't be the only place that we see this at. Okay? But I'm going to prove who they're going to go and get. I'm going to show you who they're going to get. I'm going to show you that they're going to go and get those from Egypt and bring them back to Jerusalem. I'm going to show all that. Keep going, read.
And the land of his elect ones shall be before them as a threshing floor, trampled, barren ground, and a highway.
And a what?
And a highway.
And a highway. So I'm going to show you that highway. Go ahead, read.
But the city of my righteous ones shall be a hindrance. But the city of my righteous ones shall be a hindrance to their horses.
So wait a minute. So what is the city of his righteous ones?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. Why? It said it's going to be a hindrance to their horses, meaning that they're not going to go there to destroy anything. You know why? Because Jerusalem has been set up. It's been protected. And by this part, half the city's already been taken. It's going to be set up. Read that part again.
But the city of my righteous ones shall be a hindrance to their horses.
Read.
And they shall begin to fight among themselves.
So now, who's with them? Remember the angels. I'm going to show you. It says when they're going to fight amongst themselves. Now at this point, you have angels. Who are they fighting? Because they're fighting against themselves. Who are the Medes going to get? There's another host of angels that's there, and they're fighting amongst them. So now you have the angels who came back with the Medes. That's not the 1/10 that with the Medes. That's a whole set of different angels. Those angels are dealing with the Most High. That army is dealing with the Most High. But there's another set of angels that we read about that they're going to fight against. And they're going to start fighting against themselves. Go ahead, read.
And their own right hand shall be strong against themselves.
Read. So when it says their own right hand shall be strong against themselves, meaning there's some type of disagreement. There's some kind of, they're not in agreement. There's a fight. There's a tussle for something.
They're fighting amongst themselves.
They're fighting. It's absolutely. Read.
And a man shall not know his brother,
Come on.
nor a son his father,
Read.
or his mother,
Read.
until there will be innumerable corpses because of their slaughter.
So because of their slaughter, who is there? There is talking about who? Persian enemies and the angels that's amongst them. You see what I'm saying? See now, this is Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble ain't talking about us getting locked up in no prison and getting beaten, your heads cut off like that. Jacob's trouble is talking about the return of the fallen ones. Because the Most High made a statement, it would be like no other time ever had been before on the earth. Keep going, read.
And their punishment shall be not in vain.
So that means it's a righteous kill. The Most High said that punishment ain't going to be in vain. This is righteous. No. Let's go to Revelation 9 and 13.
Revelations 9 and 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High,
Read.
saying to the sixth angel, who had the trumpet, release the four messengers, those having been bound at the great river Parath.
Right. So the great river Parath is actually Euphrates. Okay? So now let's think about this. I want to give you something to think about. That army that's coming down from Afghanistan Medes, in order to get to Jerusalem, they have to cross the Euphrates rivers. And in order for them to come down on horses and bring everything they got, the Euphrates rivers have to be dried up. So in order for these angels to be released from bound, that means Euphrates rivers had to be dried up. Because water bounds angels. Water bounds spirits. Okay? Now, again, if the Euphrates River has been dried up, it has to be dried up for the army to come across. And we know for a fact today that the Euphrates River has been dry at least since 2008, 2007. And that New York Times did a piece on that. You can go check it out. New York Times, Euphrates drying up prophecy. Okay? So now, in order for that army have to cross, Euphrates rivers have to be dried up. In order for those angels to be released, that means the water has to be gone. Makes sense, right? Let's get more on that. Let's go to Revelation 16 and 12. I'm going to show you this army. Revelation 16 and 12.
Revelation 16 and 12. And the six angels poured out his bowl on the great river Parath.
Euphrates, read.
And its water was dried up, in order to prepare the way of the sovereigns from the east.
So the kings of the east. Now, who's coming from the east? We just read that the Medes, the Parthians, which is nothing but the Pakistanis today, all these made up lines, but it's all one region. It's always the ancient Persian Empire. Afghanistan, Pakistan, even part of India, and what we call today Iran. All that was one region, one empire. And so these people are coming with our people amongst them. Bani Israel amongst them, right? And they're coming from the east, and they're going to go straight to Jerusalem. This is prophecy. This is not my word. All I'm doing is bringing the message out of the prophecy of what is Jacob's trouble. And the angels, we read earlier that we're going to be amongst them. So everything's talking about the same thing. I'm not making this up. It's all the same, all the same events. It's just different prophets talking about it. All right? All right, so what I was saying, before we do that, I want to go to the book, The Apocalypse of Elijah, and the pseudepigrapha, hold up the pseudepigrapha, all right? And I'm going to get that same event from one of our prophets, Elijah. Okay, and most people think that Elijah only written one book. Our prophets wrote more than one book. Okay, that's in your canonized Bible. Okay, so let's get this event here. Read.
Apocalypse of Elijah, chapter 2, verse 39.
Read.
In those days, 3 kings will arise among the Persians.
So that empire. Read.
And they will take captive the Jews who are in Egypt.
So now they say Jews, but really we know that they're Israel. That is the word they use. Right? Read.
They will bring them to Jerusalem.
They bring them where?
To Jerusalem.
So now these are the same kings we just read that the angels were with, that came down, right? That came down in the book of Enoch. Same event. But now we're reading that they are in Egypt. Right? So we got to find this. This should match in scriptures. Go ahead, read.
And they will inhabit it and dwell there.
Read.
Then, when you hear that there is security in Jerusalem,
read.
Tear your garments, O priests.
So hold on. It says, when you hear that security in Jerusalem, priests, rent your garments. So that's showing that the Levitical priesthood will be there. Read.
O priest of the land.
Come on.
Because the son of perdition will soon come.
So now, is that what's going to get the anti-Mashiach? Because now there's a gathering. And the gathering's been done, who we know was the Medes and the Parthians. And they went to Egypt and brought our people to Jerusalem. We should find that in the scriptures, right? That should be there. We're reading it. These are gatherings. This is a whole different gathering that's being done. Let's get to, is that it on that? Wait, go ahead.
In those days, the lawless one will appear in the holy place.
Read.
With the king of Assyria, 4 kings will fight with thee.
All right, so
with
now.
3, excuse me.
So now, that's good, that's good. So that goes into what we're going to look into right now. That goes into the anti-Mashiach, which is called the Assyrian. That's a whole other breakdown we're going to do. Yeah, it's called the Assyrian. That's good, right?
Up to 43 and not 44.
Oh, that's okay. That's cool. We'll look at it. All right, so now let's go. Hold that. No, hold that. We're going to go to Isaiah 27 and 12, and then we're going to go to Isaiah 11, and then we're going to go to Isaiah 13. We're going to get all that till we move on from the book of Enoch, so they can see that all this is talking about the same event. And we ain't even got to the good part, so just sit tight, because it gets much deeper, my brothers. Go ahead.
Isaiah 27 and verse 12.
Read.
And in that day it shall be that the Most High threshes from the channel of the river to the wadi of Egypt.
So now that river is talking about Euphrates, to the wadi of Egypt. So the Most High, remember we read, now we know that man is doing this, but it said that the Most High, right? Is that what it just said? We know that man is doing this, but Most High gets all the credit. This is what we went back and last week's lesson when we read about the 144,000 and that they're going to be gathering, but the Most High does it. Now we're reading it right here again. See that? That's real clear, right, y'all?
That's right.
Keep going, read.
And you shall be gathered one by one.
So now we know who's doing this. It is the Persians, the Medes, and it's also those of Bani Israel that amongst them. Read.
O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
O children of Israel.
So that means Bani Israel. Those talking about those who are here from the northern kingdom. And if you ever come to Egypt, you know that they're still here because they're in Upper Egypt. They're in Sudan. They're in those regions. And when that army come, they're going to be gathering from all over. They're going to go even into Arabia. And they're going to destroy Arabia. They're going to run through Arabia. Everything, lay it low. Lay it all, bring it all down to destruction. Everything that's staying in Arabia shall be laid low according to the prophecy. They don't tell you this. They don't give you this. And this is what's real, because that's why the Most High made a statement, come out over my people. But that's a whole other different lesson. We'll bring that out later on. Okay? Keep going, read.
Verse 13. And in that day it shall be that a great horn is blown, and those who were perishing in the land of Ashur.
Where?
Ashur.
That's Assyria. Read.
And the outcast in the land of Egypt shall come.
Read. Shall what?
Shall come.
Shall come? Mean they shall come to where?
And shall
come to where, brother?
And shall worship the Most High on the holy mountain in Jerusalem.
Ooh. Now we just read, right? And in the book of Elijah, prophecy of Elijah, that they're going to come. When you get there, rent your garments, because who's going to come? The Anti-Mashiach, right? Same thing. Go to Daniel 11:44. Let's show what happens, because we just read in the Apocrypha of Elijah that the Anti-Mashiach is supposed to come, right? After those that come out of Egypt. So I just want to show that real fast, and then we're going to go back on to the lesson. Daniel 11:44 and 45.
Daniel's chapter 11, verse 44. Then reports from the east and the north shall disturb him, and he shall go out with great wrath to destroy and put many under the ban.
Read.
And he shall pitch the tents of his palace between the seas and the splendid holy mountain, but shall come to his end with none to help him. So
the Mashiach, the Anti-Mashiach, is going to come to Israel after he hear about the report that happened in Egypt about this army coming to get Bani Israel, the people. What we've shown is all these events, all these books are talking about the same event. Okay? And now we're going to get another report, another witness from one of our prophets, Isaiah, on the same event. I've been showing you in the last 5-7 minutes is talking about this one event from that gathering, that kings of the east, okay, coming down and their event, what they're doing. I'm showing you a gathering that's taking place and who's doing it, okay, and showing you that Bani Israel is going to be amongst you. And also, most important thing is that angels are amongst the Persians and the Medes, and Bani Israel, another portion of Bani Israel in the land. In the east. Okay? Read.
Isaiah 11:11. And it shall be in that day that the Most High puts his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Assyria.
Now, you should know by this time through all the precepts that if you calling yourself Judah, you're already dead. If you're in the land by this time, you're done. Because this gathering deals with the northern kingdom. We just read that in Isaiah. This gathering here deals with the northern kingdom. So all this, see, that brother, and I'm going to mention his name because he has a time to repent. That brother, Ricard, you better get your people out of Egypt and you better send them. You better get the Most High people and tell them either to come back home to America and Europe, or you better tell them to go and seek the Most High face in Zion and get with your brother Ashura and Hashua and the rest of the brothers that's there. Because if it's not, that blood is on your hand, my brother. Their blood is on your hand because you got them out here. You understand? If they're there by the time of this event, they're dead. And there's no crossing Euphrates River. Euphrates River, not Euphrates River, the Nile River is not going to dry up. It's not the Nile River. We're going to read it. It's the Euphrates River. And that event is already taking place. It's for those of our people that came from the east, came down. Pay attention now, people. All right? Start from the top. Read.
And it shall be in that day that the Most High puts his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Assyria and from Egypt, from Pathros and from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar.
So all these places are either in the land of Assyria, or what they call Babylon, Assyria today, or they are in Egypt, or they are in Arabia, in that region. And these are the kings of the east. The Persian Medes doing it, and they're gathering as they come and destroy. That's why that anti-Mashiach had to come here and see what happened, and then go to Israel. Keep going, read.
From Hamath.
Come on.
And from the islands of the sea.
From the what?
And from the islands of the sea.
So now when we dealt with the islands of the sea, last week lesson, right? That was dealing with the Mediterranean. It was dealing with the coastlands, the land, those islands from the Mediterranean. We went over that last week. And if you didn't see that lesson last week, you should go check it out. Go ahead, read.
And he shall raise a banner.
She said what?
And he shall raise a banner.
There's that flag again. Go ahead, read.
For the nation.
Come on.
And gather the outcast of Israel and assemble the dispersed of Judah.
Ah. So now there's another portion of Judah in other places. Go ahead, read.
From the four corners of the earth.
So now that shows you. Now we're going to show you why they are there. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to prove it. Because remember, I just said, if there's a portion already in Jerusalem, then why there's another gathering, another portion of Judah? You know why? Because when the door was open for them to go seek the master face of Zion, they didn't come. And the Most High feels sorry for them at this point, at this particular time, and went and got them. But before he did that, he killed a lot of them. He killed a lot of them because they didn't come. And I'm going to prove everything I'm saying. I'm going to prove because it's in the records. It's just that each prophet gives different kind of portions, their portion of the event. He may talk more about the gathering in Pakistan, or more. One may talk more about the event in Jerusalem. More may talk more about the event in Egypt. But it's all talking about the same event, as you can see. Keep going now.
11.
Yep. What's that? What verse you got? Keep reading now.
14. But they shall fly down upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west.
Read.
Together they plunder the people of the east.
Read.
Their hands stretching forth on Edom and Moab.
So now this is the army. This is Bani Israel, the army, and it's also of other Israel. So now when you get into the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we're not going to touch on that right now. It's the reason. But when you get into it, it's the reason why. Right? And that reason because now our kingdom is set and our prince is here. Our prince is here at this point. But you don't read it here. You have to go and read the books and you put it together. It's all a puzzle. But it's very easy. It's not hard. When you stand away from religion. And I would have never got this information if I would never been going to seeking the master face in Jerusalem.
Isaiah 11 verse 15. The Lord will dry up the tongue of the Egyptian sea.
Now, when you understand that, it's talking about the Mediterranean. It's not even talking about the Red Sea. Go ahead, read.
He will raise his hand over the Euphrates with the might of his wind and break it into seven streams.
Meaning that it's going to be dried in 7 places. So we know that's happened. So it's just showing that the Most High has already set this field up to fill it up, the plain board up is to be played. Go ahead, read.
so that it can be trodden, dry shod. Thus there shall be a highway.
Should be a what?
A highway.
Remember we read in the book of Enoch, and we're going to go back over that there was a highway that came down, the kings of the east. That highway is Euphrates River. You see that now, right? We're going to read that again, though. Go ahead.
Thus there should be a highway for the other part of his people out of Assyria.
Out of where?
Out of Assyria.
So in order to cross from the Syria, right, and go over to Jerusalem, there's a river that's called the Euphrates River that separates that. And it has to be dry. And today in 2017, it is dry. The playing field is already. It's already happening. Go ahead, read.
Such as there was for Israel when it left the land of Egypt.
See that? So he just compared it. It's clear, ain't it, God? Is that?
Very clear.
All right. So that highway, again, that we read in the book of Enoch, that the kings of the east came over, that the Medes and Persians came over, was the Euphrates. It was Euphrates. All right. That was clear, right? So let's get some more on that. Let's go and show these kings. See, I'm coming every which way because now I'm not going to leave any room for brothers to make an exclusion. Now let's go to Isaiah 13. Let's look at this. And let's find out where this army is going. Because now we don't read that this army is going to Egypt, Assyria, Arabia, because that's where they went to pick people up in Isaiah 11. Right? And we find that that army stayed in this region. They marched straight to Jerusalem. I want to show you this army. You ready? Isaiah 13:1. Let's read it.
Isaiah 13:1.
Now, a lot of brothers use this as going in and talking about America. But okay. So let's go. Isaiah 13:1. Let's read it.
Isaiah 13:1. The message concerning Babel which Isaiah son of Amos saw.
Read.
Lift up a banner on the high mountain. Raise your voice to them. Wave your hand. Let them enter the gates of the nobles.
Read.
I have commanded my holy ones.
So he commanded his holy ones. Find out who these holy ones. We know that the angels came upon the Medes, right? We read that, right? So that's who they're talking about there. Read.
I have also commanded my mighty men for my displeasure.
So now we're talking about the men, the Medes, right? Parthians and also Bani Israel that's amongst them. Read.
My proudly exalting ones.
Come on.
My
what?
My proudly exalting ones.
So when we read in the book of Enoch, now you know those angels from the Most High. When you get to verse 5, the ones from 1 to 4 was talking about the fallen ones who the Most High is using too. But now he done placed the angels amongst the Medes. Go ahead, read.
The noise of an uproar in the mountains.
Come on.
Like that of many people.
Read.
A noise of uproar of the reigns of the Gentiles gathered together.
See that? So now the Gentiles, remember I said there's Bani Israel amongst the Gentiles. Read.
The Most High of Hosts is gathering an army for battle.
Read.
They are coming from a distant land.
Read.
From the end of the heavens.
So now, this is the deep part. When it says from the ends of heaven, for our Hebrew readers, we know that says from Shamayim to Eretz. So if you from the heavens to earth, that means they're coming from the end of the heavens, coming to earth. This is the same thing that we read in the book of Enoch. It's the same translation as this is. But you won't notice unless you're in the Hebrew or if you really understand these books. Keep going, read.
Even the Most High and his weapons of displeasure to
Read.
destroy all the earth.
Come on.
How? For the day of the Most High is near. It comes as a destruction from El Shaddai.
Read.
Therefore, all hands go limp. Every man's heart melts, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows take hold of them.
Read.
They are in pain as a woman in labor.
Read.
They are amazed at one at one another, their faces aflame. See, the day of the Most High is coming, fierce and with wrath and heat of displeasure, to lay the earth waste and destroy its sinners from it.
So now, when it's saying sinners, that means who are the sinners? Who are the Most High going after? Who the sinners are? Sinners either can't be the Gentiles, they got to be the children of Israel, because they was only given Torah. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High also going to destroy his people. This is Jacob's trouble here. But see, this is talking about the kings coming from the east. And they are, if you understand the ancient Syrian land, that's actually Babel, but that's a whole nother teaching. We're not going to get into that. We're going to get into that a different day. But we're just showing some connections. But keep going, read.
Verse 10. For the stars of the heavens and their constellations do not give off their light. The sun shall be dark at its rising.
And I want to show you why the sun is dark. I want to show you why the angels are not giving their light. Because remember, they came to earth. Keep going, read.
And the moon not send out its light.
Read.
And I shall punish the world for its evil, and the wicked for their wickedness.
So the wicked is the Gentiles, read.
And put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and lay low the pride of the ruthless.
Stop right there.
And lay low the pride of the ruthless. I shall make mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind than the gold of Ophir.
Right.
So I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her place. In the wrath of the Most High of hosts, and in the day of the heat of his displeasure.
Read.
And it shall be as the hunted gazelle, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. Every man turns to his own people, and everyone flees to his own land.
Read.
Whoever is found is thrust through, and everyone taken falls by the sword, and their children are dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Read.
Their houses plundered, their wives ravished.
So who's doing all of this? It's the Medes and the angels. They're doing all this. But they went to a certain place. And that's what I want to show. Go ahead, read.
See, I am stirring up the Medites.
The who?
The Medites.
So who is the Medites? They're the Medes. And now we just know who the Medes are with. They're with the angels. This is the Most High using them. We've been reading the same event all along. But we haven't even got to the deep part yet. Just hold on, because it gets much, much deeper than what we're reading here. Keep going.
I am stirring up the Medites against them, who do not regard silver, nor ask for gold.
Now, why? Now, we're going to stop there. Why don't they regard silver and gold? Because there's no need for them. This is the Most High army. So, you ready? Okay, so now, what we're going to do, we're going to go back just a little bit to the book of Enoch, chapter 56. And now we're going to pick up at verse 6. Because I done showed you the highway, I showed you the army, I done showed you what they've done. Okay? Right? And we showed you who they're with. So we're going to pick up at the book of Enoch, chapter 56 and verse 6.
Enoch 56 and verse 6. And they shall go up and trample the land of my elect ones, and the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor, trampled barren ground, and a highway. But the city of my righteous ones shall be a hindrance to their horses. So
now everybody should know at this event, when you hear that right there, that verse, you should know why. And it's because the children of Israel are there, a portion of them. And because the army went to Egypt and brought another portion of children of Israel there. And they went to Assyria and also Arabia at this point. Okay? You should know that at this point. There's gatherings that's being done. And they're being done by the Medes. Last week I showed you the children of Israel who's going to be doing the gathering. This week I'm showing you the Medes who's going to be doing the gathering. So a lot of brothers be like, oh, the Medes, they're going to come and kill you. No, the Medes are coming to gather the children of Israel and destroy that army. Okay? Keep going, read.
And they should be.
And it didn't say anything about going into America at that point. It just talked about a region today, what we call Northeast Africa or the Middle East. Keep going, read.
And they shall begin to fight among themselves, and their own right hand shall be strong against themselves.
Read. So remember that. They're going to fight each other at some point. Keep going, read.
And a man shall not know his brother,
You don't understand that, read.
nor a son his father or his mother, until there will be innumerable corpses because of their slaughter.
Because of their slaughter means the angels and the beings. Read.
And their punishment shall be not in vain.
Means it's going to be righteous. Come on, read.
And in those days hell shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up.
So we read that before, right? About in the end that those beings are going to come in chains and grab the chosen ones and their families and take them to the abyss. So now here's the second recount of it. Same thing, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Their destruction shall be final. Hell shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect.
See that? So that's talking about our people. We just read it in the book of Enoch. In the book of Isaiah, there's talked about the sinners. Okay?
Isaiah also speaks about hell enlarging herself.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm showing that when it said in the book of Isaiah 13, now you understand why. You see, everything is now. What I want to show you at this time, right? The Most High and the angels in the heavens they didn't intervene. You just have the ones on earth. The ones in heaven with the Most High, they just watching the whole thing play out. Why? Because now there's been a decree. See, we reading some is general and some is detailed, but there was a decree for the children or the children of Israel to come into the land, and they did not. So the Most High protected the ones that was in Jerusalem, and the ones outside Jerusalem he didn't protect. But eventually he came and got them. We read that. We know that. But in the beginning, he didn't protect at all. He didn't protect. He allowed them to go through hell. And you also can read that in the Revelation 12 prophecy. That's what that's talking about. But we're not going to get into that now. We're gonna do that another segment. And we're going to tie on it. So you know everything we're talking about all ties in. You can understand it. Okay, keep going, Ak.
Enoch chapter 57 verse 1. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of chariots.
So now here's another host of angels. Read.
And men riding on them.
Come on.
They were coming on the wind from the east and from the west.
So now they're on the wind, mean then see they give it to you all the time in these movies. Talking about spaceships, the latest one, the Transformers. You know what I mean? Most people think the Autobots are the good ones, but the Autobots really the evil ones. Really Megatron is really the good one. Remember, Megatron name comes from the Enoch. Enoch name was changed to Metatron or something like that. But my point, what I'm saying is that they giving all this stuff, they putting it in your face in the movies. Okay, Autobots are not the good ones. They're really the evil ones. Okay, they're helping mankind fight the Most High, and the Most High is coming back with Megatron and what they call the Decepticons. You know what I mean? To destroy the earth, right? And they're supposed to clean the earth for the Most High. But let's keep going. Let's show this. Read.
They were coming on the winds from the east.
Come on.
And from the west to the south.
So these are, remember that, from the east winds, the north, and the south. These are their ships. Read.
The noise of their chariots were heard.
Come on.
And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven watched it.
So hold on. When they saw this, when this happened to earth, the Most High and his angels in the heaven, they just watched it. They did not intervene at all. They already played their part. They sent the angels and sent another portion of the angels down to deal with the means, to gather the people. Right? But now it's hell. This is Jacob's trouble. This is Jacob's trouble. Read it till the end of that. Go ahead.
And the pillars of the earth were shaken and moved, and the sound of it was heard from the one end of heaven to the other in one day.
All right. So now,
Verse 3.
that's verse 3. That's it. Go ahead.
And all shall fall down and worship the Most High of spirits. This is the end of the second parable.
All right. So there's another segment. If you notice, it's all talking about the same event. So now we're going to go to one of our great forefathers, Ezra. And he's going to read the same event in heaven.
2 Ezra 15:22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them.
So now we know what that means, because we've seen who's bringing the sword, right? But he says, my, but he's using man. Very clear. Read, because we read about what the sinners, what he's going to do to the sinners. Right? Read.
That shed innocent blood upon the earth.
Come on.
The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners, like the straw that is kindled.
So now we understand that, because now we've seen what fire, what wrath he sent out. Okay? Read.
Woe to them that sin, and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord.
Right? Now I'm going to show you why this is happening. Because they didn't seek Zion. So now they're stuck out in this. Keep going, read.
I will not spare them. Go your way.
So he said, go your way. You're done. You know why? Because at this point, before the Medes and all them gathered, the doors was closed.
Right.
The gates was closed, man.
Yeah,
Now you got to deal with it. This is right. This is Isaiah 12, Revelation 12, when it says that after the woman was carried into the wilderness, right, for that time, that Satan went to make war with the remnant of that seed. Right. Exactly. You see that now, right? It's coming clear. Keep going, read.
Woe to them that sin and keep my commandments, saith the Lord. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him.
So he says, you ain't going to defile my sanctuary. Go ahead. You can keep it moving. I got my portion here as of right now. You don't need for you to come to Zion. Hid my face from you. Go ahead, read.
And therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction.
Come on, read.
For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them.
You should what?
And ye shall remain in them.
Now you know who's going to remain in them. This is clear now, right? Those who didn't seek the master face. You didn't seek his face, so all that stuff happened to you. It's got to go. Those who are going to be, they seek the master face, got to come when the Medes come and bring them. That's in a portion of Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? In Assyria and in Arabia and all them other places. And over in the other four corners. You got to come later on now. You got to come much later on, but you got to go through hell now. Because you didn't want to seek the master face of Zion. Right?
For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Deliver you, because ye have sinned against him.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east.
So now remember we read that in the book of Enoch. Said it came from the east, the south, right? That vision. Read.
Were the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
Oh, from what?
The nations of the dragons of Arabia.
So when you get to understand dragon, the word dragon really means draconian. Draconian. Go ahead, read.
Come out with many chariots.
Come on.
And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
So now, the dragons, the scripture, if we were reading in Isaiah 13, it talks about the dragons of Arabia as well. But now here, it says the dragons of Arabia. You understand what I'm saying? Come out. And when you talk, this is talking about draconians. We're talking about things that are not really seem human. They're here on earth right now. What you're going to learn in this lesson, there are angels that have been waiting on the children of Israel to make their move. They're fallen angels and you should know this by now, but in this lesson, there's angels on earth that are deceiving angels, and there's righteous angels on earth. And both of them are playing their part. And both of them are waiting for the children of Israel to make their move. See, the Most High is waiting for us to make our move. He didn't sin against us. We sinned against him. So that goes back to last week's lesson. Why should he deliver you and you ain't apologize? Why should he save you? Why should he bring salvation to you and you haven't apologized? Right? We sinned against him, so we should be the first to go and set things right.
And repent, that's right.
And repent. Okay? Keep going, read. So now we're going to read the same thing we read in the book of Enoch. Read.
That all they which hear them,
Go wait a minute, there's what?
that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
So we read that in the book of Enoch. That their noise was heard from one end of the earth to the other. And they feared them. Did we read that?
That's right.
Same event. Now you know who was bringing that noise. It was the Arabians, the dragons of Arabia. Now you know in Isaiah 13 who was doing who the Medes went after. It was the dragon of Arabia. All this connection. It's all connected. Keep going, read.
Also the Carmanians,
The who?
the Carmanians,
Read.
raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the woods.
So now, who are the Carmanians? The Carmanians are the Medes. They're the Parthians. And in what we read in the book of Enoch, it said that the angels were with the Medes, right? So now we're understanding who they're clashing with. And if you look what's happening right now, Arabia had just put together the biggest, the humongous, the biggest coalition in the world. So now we see in the book of Enoch, it says that they came off rushing off their thrones like layers, like lions and layers. Here, it says they came off their thrones like boars.
Boars of the wood.
Boars of the wood. Same event. Clearly, it's the same event. Keep going, read.
And with great power shall they come.
So wait a minute. Who was the power they came with, y'all?
The angels.
They was with the angels. So now you have the Draconians, and you have with the Arabians and all that coalition, and you have the angels that are amongst the Medes, the Persians, and Bani Israel. And now they're clashing together at war. And if you know what's going on in the media, this is the war between the Medes and Babylon, what we read in Isaiah 13. It's all throughout the scriptures. But we're going to do a whole nother lesson on that. Keep going, read.
And join battle with them.
And do what?
And join battle with them.
And join battle with them. In the book of Enoch, we said, and they came together, right? Now we're reading the same event. Keep going, read.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Remember we read that they went into the land of the elect ones and the land of his land, and then we read in Isaiah 29 that the Anti-Mashiach was with the Assyrian. Right? Keep going, read.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand.
Okay, come on.
Remembering their nature.
Whoa, wait a minute. Remembering what?
Their nature.
Now, we read in the book of Jubilees, their nature was what? To lead astray and to destroy, right?
The natural state and natural order, that's right.
That was to lead astray and destroy, right? So what is their nature? To lead astray and destroy. Remember now, at this point, the portion of Israel is already in safety. But there's portions throughout the earth of Israel that's not. Because they didn't come and seek the master face. Keep going, read.
Conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
So hold on. It said conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Read.
Then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power.
Read.
And shall flee.
And shall what?
And shall flee.
So somebody's going to run.
Isaiah 31:8.
Now I'm going to show that the Assyrians and all this stuff is dealing with demons and followers. Go ahead, read.
Then Assyria shall fall, not by the sword of man.
Not by the sword of man. Come on.
A sword not of humans shall devour him.
Wait a minute. A sword not of what?
A sword not of humans.
Not of humans. Come on.
Shall devour him.
Read.
He shall shrivel before the sword. and his young men pine away.
So hold on. That's clear. That means not of humans. A sword, not of humans. So this is dealing with something totally on a whole nother level. This got nothing to do with humans. This is dealing with the different realms that is spoken about in Revelation 13. Angels and fallen ones and demons on the earth. See that? It's very clear. Non-human. A sword, non-human. We're talking about the same event. So if you read Isaiah 31, the whole chapter, it's talking about the same thing in the book of Enoch. And right hand was against himself. And then somebody got the upper hand. Now we know who got the upper hand. Keep going, read.
And from the land of the Assyrians,
Land of what?
the Assyrians,
Come on.
shall the enemy besiege them,
Come on.
and consume some of them,
And do what?
and consume some of them.
So what do you mean when it says consume? What do that mean? I'm going to show you that means they're going to be eating. They're going to be eating. Remember, we're dealing with fallen beings here. Did not, remember the Most High made a statement, right? In the days of, these days would be in the days of Noah, right? They said they in days of Noah were not the beings, the fallen ones, or what you call it, eating man? Yes. So that sounds wow. That should be somewhere in the scriptures. That's got to be somewhere. If that's not in Tanakh or anything, it doesn't. You're talking garbage. All right. Now let's go to Micah 3. If you want, you can stand there. You can read it here. Micah 3. Let's talk about that sword that's not human. How they're going to be killed by non-humans. Read.
Micah 3:1. Then I said, hear now, O heads of Jacob, and you rulers of the house of Israel. Should you not know right ruling?
So now, the Most High, shouldn't you know righteousness? Shouldn't you know right ruling? Yes, because it's in the book. But our people are very religious. They don't want to learn culture and heritage. They want to stay religious. Go ahead, read.
You who are hating good and loving evil,
Come on.
tearing away the skin from my people, and the flesh from their bones, and who have eaten the flesh of my people.
Well, what?
Who have eaten the flesh of my people,
Read.
and stripped off their skin,
Come on.
and have broken their bones, and have cut it up as into a pot.
So this is talking about the children of Israel being eaten. That's clear. Physically, not saying no metaphor. It's physically. And I'm going to show you it's talking about the same event that we've been talking about the whole time. That they didn't come to Zion, so the Most High put an order out to kill them. Read.
Like flesh in the cooking pot. Therefore, when the cry of the Most High, Therefore, when they cry to the Most High,
What happened?
He does not answer them.
So we read earlier that the Most High is not going to deal with you because you didn't beg into his call. We read that in the second Ezra. Keep going, read.
And hides his face from them.
He do what?
Hides his face from them.
Meaning that he shut the door on you. There's no seeking Zion anymore. At that point, come on, read.
At that time, as they have made their deeds evil.
Read.
Thus saith the Most High concerning the Nebiim,
Meaning the prophets. Read.
who lead my people astray.
All you fake pastors out there, if you call yourself deacon and elder this and you ain't sought the Most High face and went in judgment, you're a fake pastor. Simple as that.